Hey everybody, Jody here. Today I'm going to be making a video on how I improve my own gameplay when I'm learning a new DPS. There's a lot of ways you can go about it, a lot of different, methods you can do, whether you're looking up a guide on Wowhead or you're just browsing through top parses and Warcraft logs. A lot of different ways to work. This method I use involves just me hitting a training dummy, looking at the details of that and comparing that to my Simcraft, like a Raidbot sim. So we're gonna go over that. This should be usable even if you don't have Simbot, like simc installed at all and you never use Raidbots. I'm gonna walk you through that process, and so that you don't have anything checked that shouldn't be checked, right? So there's a few things you can potentially mess up. First things first, you gotta have Simcraft. So if I type simc in the chat command, I get this nice little string. So this is just a string you can copy. And what that basically is going to do is it's going to take all your talents, your gear, and anything over here in your soul binds, and make all that information readable. So we've just copied that. So then we would go to a website called Raidbots, and you'll see these few, got a couple options here. And we're looking specifically for the quick sim one. So we just copied all of our information and you just paste it in. And this is our character, right? This is the dwarf warlock. This is my gear. These are my talents. And what you want to do now is just scroll down here to simulation options and make sure we got the correct things set up. Because what this will let you do is you can run with it's gonna have like potion, food, flask, right? If you're fully decked out in raid stuff and consumables, then that's what this is going to simulate. But for us, when we're hitting the training dummy, we don't have any of that. So I always just throw on like an oil and have an augment rune, so I'll just go ahead and use that. Boom. I want to make sure that that's what's selected here. So when I go in, I need to basically just go no buffs, and then I can go through here and be like, okay, augment. Yep, I got an augment. Yep, I got the weapon oil, and that's it. And if you're like a mage, boom, you can select Arcane Intellect, Bloodlust, Power, Fortitude. If you're a priest, Battle Shot for the Warriors, all that. You just want to make sure that it's set up to be however you have it. IQD. IQD is not really going to be used this season, but this is basically anytime. Raidbots is pretty good about this. If there's like a trinket here that is a little quirky, right? A little weird, like, Cabal Hymnal. Like, how many other people in your party have this? Maybe you're in a full party of Cabal Hymnal. You got 4 stack, or maybe there's only 2. Same thing with Stone Legion. Soleus, or Soleish. That trinket, you can pick whatever one you want for the stat that you get. This is Patchwork. Patchwork just means that you're hitting just the dummy. You can change the number of bosses for like cleave and stuff. This is just the basic default. One boss, 5 minutes. And so you hit run sim. And it's going to take you into this queue. This will be counting down. So while that's running, I'm just going to hit the dummy for 5 minutes real quick. Alright, so we just finished hitting the training dummy. I had to run away to get myself out of combat, and our Simcraft should also be finished. Now when we look here, we're not looking at like total damage, right? I'm not looking at 14k and the other thing in the Simcraft damage. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for specifically the breakdowns. So this is the one that was just going, and like I said, it's gonna have me doing like it says I should be doing like an extra 1,000 DPS, but don't worry, we're not looking about this. This is not the number we care about. What we care about is right here, this information. Specifically, we're looking at the percentages and counts, right? So if we go to this detailed breakdown, we want to see something fairly similar. Now, it's, may not necessarily look the same, but you're looking at the names, right? So Demon Fire from Demonic Tyrant. Demonic Tyrant, Demon Fire. So counts, 60 hits, 61 hits. That's good. That's pretty close. 25% of our damage. Here it's 23%. You know, that can be any number of things. Demonology and Warlock in particular has like a lot of things that can proc and change your damage. But like overall, yes, 23 is pretty close to 25. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, you might have to do some like, hunting for this. Like let's look at the Dreadstalkers. Dreadstalkers make up 17. These are our dogs, right? It's like about 18%. And to find that, we have to go melee Dreadstalkers, 9%. Dreadstalk bite, 7%. That's about 16%. That's 16-17% of our damage. Very close, right? 17.8. This would be 16.9. That's 1% off. I'm fine with that. That's good. Wild Imps. Wild Imps are about 17% of our damage. 17.5. They're the exact same. I don't know if we can look at count with these. Let's see. 2,385. 2,451. So again, with our force up bonus, maybe you get an extra imp, maybe you don't, right? There's a lot of variation in here. You're looking at the percentages, right? If I go down here to my Demon Bolt, I had like 86, so I was off by 5. That's fine. I'm totally fine with, being 5 casts off simulation. But like, let's say this was way out of whack. Let's say this was like, 30. That's how you would know, okay, I need to cast more Demon Bolts. The sim said I was supposed to be casting 91 and I only casted 30. Same thing with Shadow Bolt. 60 Shadow Bolts. How many did I get? Let's find Shadow Bolt. 61. Right on the money. I don't know if Demonic Tyrants, you can't really, it doesn't really give you a count here, but I think you can even go down to something like here. So Tyrant Soul, you get this every time you cast a Tyrant. You got 5 of these, so you can check the auras. Tyrant Soul, we also got 5. This is the other thing you could choose. You can check the auras. How much was this up, right? My Bitter Band was up 91% of the time. For here, they had it up 94% of the time. It's all good. And this just really helps you. This points out problems in your rotation. Any one of these things is like severely off, and there's not like an explanation. Like if you're a warrior and you did this, obviously, your execute is going to be different on here than on a training dummy. So that's fine. And you can just account for that. It's everything else okay. Is execute the only thing that's off. And you're pretty good to go. And so once I do this, I'm able to get a baseline for what I need to improve on. And then you can adapt that in Raid. And this is really, you can do this with pretty much every single class, every expansion. Particularly with Demonology, setting up your Tyrants is very important. If any class has something where it's like, okay, you have this 10-second window to maximize all your damage, being able to do that on the dummy is very important. You can do it on dummy and then you can adapt to it in Raid. So that's it. That's the, how to learn a class and improve. I do this on literally every single class that I play, that it makes sense to do it on. Alright, so thank you for tuning in, and I hope that helps, and hope that you can use that to improve.